ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an interesting part because this is the Mad Max part, right? These guys here, probably when you walk down the street and you saw this gentleman here, you'd go, oh, I'll walk on the other side of the road because he's covered in tattoos. Now, I'm covered in tattoos, but I don't care. But how do people, when they see you, brother, what do? They go, whoa.
Yeah, sometimes, mate. Depends where you are. But yeah, they either grab their kids so you don't steal them, or hold pretty tight to their handbag sometimes. But you get that,
mate. I got to tell you, because I know what it's like going into a club being a DJ and you're walking covered in tattoos, and they look at you like, what the fuck? Who's this guy? And then I just play rock and roll, and they all go, oh, all right, it's okay, you know. Now you've got to tell me something. When you've been out and about, what's the funniest thing that ever happened to you? What, someone come up to you and went, oh, fuck, man, I love your tattoos? Or what? What happened to you that you remember?
No, a lot of people, I don't know, want to see your tattoos or show you off their tattoos, but nothing too drastic.
They
or
come up to you and say,
and
my tattoos, give me
so
yours.
If you're ever catching a train down in Frankston, you'll get junkies and that want to come and show their art off in this half little boob scribble that they've got in their arm. But no, pretty harmless. Most of the time. Sometimes you can't get into places, but
what was it like to get your head tattooed?
Yeah, pretty intense. Like, just they heal really quickly, but because it's straight on your skull, normally.
It heals quickly.
Yeah, but normally when you're getting a tattoo, you can either watch a movie or look at your phone and sort of try and distract yourself, or shut your eyes for a bit. But with that, you shut your eyes, your bloody eyelids rattle because it's right on your skull.
Can you imagine that?
But
that would hurt your head.
Yeah, it's a bit hard.
I'll tell you what, you look good. I got to tell you guys, this guy has got a motorbike that has absolutely blown me away. I don't think I've seen one quite like it. Not because it's got a skull on it and I love skulls, but because, tell me about your bike. How did you put this thing together?
Originally this one was my daily rider. It was done as a joker, so it was like a bit of a joker themed airbrush bike. To be honest, went out for a hoon one night after I'd split up with the missus. I woke up in a ditch, and I remember in your head, I know you're probably in shock, but I'm like, water's cold, blood's warm, and I'm freezing. So I just sort of hopped up stupidly going, yep, I haven't, I'm not bleeding or anything really.
So you're lucky.
Yeah, pretty lucky on that one. There's been a few others.
How was the bike?
No, bike was wrecked. So I left it there.
So is that what you built from the wrecked bike?
Yeah, so that's it now.
Wow.
So, and I still get around on it. Last time I was in town, I bloody lost my number plate and that on it, but still gets out and about a bit. So,
mate, I'm impressed. Anybody who likes motorbikes will see your bike and go, wow. Now you asked a couple of questions.
Well, that's all right. I met Johnny at a car show down in Lilydale many years ago, and the Mad Max thing, and this guy rolls up with this like a apocalyptic bike or something. I remember going, how cool is this guy? And he goes, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And what did you bring back?
I don't know, which one do I bring back? Another chopper or the
bouncing car?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, Johnny ripped his shirt off, and because we knew he had a few tats and stuff, and he said, "I'm an absolute Mad Max fan." I'm going, very cool. That's really cool. So he goes, yeah, no. So in a minute we might check out Johnny's chest and back if it's all right. You don't mind stripping in front of two blokes? You cool with that?
Fat 40-year-old.
You'll be right.
Yeah, no worries.
But and it was just. And the other thing I was going to say is, obviously your hero is Vince Gill, the Knight Rider.
Yep.
And you had, at the 40th, you got to meet him.
Yep.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Yeah, really good. Thanks to you. It was pretty cool to actually get to do it. And it's when you're a young kid, you've got the idolize of this crazy dude, Yeah.
So the Vince Gill thing was awesome because Johnny's sitting there, big smile on his face. There's Vince Gill, who is all of our hero. R.I.P. by the way, Vince Gill, legend. And Johnny had a chat to him, and what did he say when he checked out his face on your stomach?
Yeah,
how'd that go?
Pretty funny. There's different idols, I suppose, we could have chosen. Maybe a president or a whatever, but the Knight Rider is what I chose. But it was very, very cool to meet him. And then you think of why you choose him as a bit of a hero or whatever back in the day. Bit like yourself, Leslie, bit loose. So when you're a young kid growing up, you grow up a pretty normal life, and then this as a kid you see this crazy loose you know, dude in a psychosis going off his head, and you're like, that's, I don't know, the coolest dude you've ever met. So that becomes the idol, then it's the HQ that he's in. So then all of a sudden you always want a HQ coupe as you're going up to be like the Night Rider.
Look at these 900s, I'm having an orgasm.
Johnny pulled his t-shirt off, you know, for the Vince Gill moment. Right. Vince goes something like, "Bloody hell, my face on your stomach, really?" or something like that. Because he was. That's funny. Because he was so humble. Sorry, he was so humble. Vince Gill was so humble, and he, you know, did all this stuff for his massive career. And you know, he said to me that my thing in Mad Max was a 2-week stunt. You know, it's just a little thing I did. What about the rest of my career? I walked down the street, you're the Night Rider. What about, I was in all this other stuff, you know, all these other really cool movies. Yeah, so I don't know when the time comes. Do we need some stripper music so you can take your shirt off, Johnny, or what happens here? Does he just parade around? Because and you've got to see his back, Les. His back, mate. You'll be impressed with his back too.
They're old 20-year-old shit tattoos there.
Mate, it's awesome. Yeah, no, let's. Yuri, how do we want to do this unveiling? How do we do this? Just.
Who would like to see this man's tattoo?
Yes.
Is that a homeless man down the back there? Get out of the bin, you bastard!
That's my mate, Vernon Wells.
That's old Vincey there.
I used to go, Vernon Wells, this guy here, he used to be a DJ, like a disco DJ. He walks into Central Station Records and he's got a fucking mohawk. Now you got to remember, 25 fucking years ago, there was no such thing as a mohawk. He walked in and I've gone, what are you doing? And he goes, "Oh, I'm in a movie called Mad Max. Went to America, haven't seen him since."
Yeah, so they're all a bit scattered tattoos over the years, but yeah, the Night Rider as a kid, the old bloody little speech he gives, and you know, there's little random ones, the old few from the new one, and then.
That is amazing.
The old toe cutter.
That's evil, isn't it? It's evil, isn't it? It's an evil tattoo, mate. You're definitely going to win any Mad Max competition. There's no doubt about that. Man, that must have taken so many hours. I feel you because I've been there.
How many years? Like, was it like just a one wild weekend bang, or did you just have a number of years get these tattoos going?
Just a number of years. You sort of change your mind as you go, and I'm a bit of a sporadic person. If you think about it too much, by the time they're halfway through the tattoo, you're like, what the fuck am I getting this one done for? You know, I've got Alice in Wonderland on my head. Would I do it again? Probably not, you know, but...
Cool at the time, yeah?
You know, yeah, at the time, and if you say you're going to do something, you do it.
$5 is $5.
That's it. So.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome, mate. Good work. Well done. All right, well, under control.
Well done, mate. It's been a pleasure. You too, my friend. Take care, and we'll see you soon. And we'll see you at the gig. Today's been pretty interesting, I've got to admit, but, well, these men here, these two gentlemen, these three over here, they've been in the clubs, they love bikes, and my all-time favourite motorcycle is a Kawasaki 900. And what happens to be here today, three of the best-looking Kawasaki 900s you could find. So, gentlemen, I'm going to hand you the microphone individually. Tell us about, you know all these boys personally, so you can do a better interview than I can, but I'd love to hear all about how they got the 900s, how they look so good, and they're still alive. They're still alive. They haven't come off and killed themselves. How old are you now?
77.
77. He rides a 900 cracker. That's ballsy. You?
64.
64. I'm 65. I wish I had a Kawasaki, mate. I love them. But you do have them. This gentleman's going to ask all the questions. And men, I love the fact that you looked after your bikes. I looked at them over and over again, and you love what you ride.
Haven't been clean for 6 months.
Hasn't been clean for 6 months?
Been too wet. Not since Cougar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Carl Goa was an event, wasn't it? Yeah, the weekend with Hooks, we put it together. The postponement came with the COVID, so that's, part and parcel of everything. But at the end of it, January, we got it together. It came off really well. So, yeah, look, and the culture of these motorcycles, these Quacker 900s, they hit the screen in the 70s with the movie Stone, and a huge impression on the Australian motorcycle scene. No one had anything that it was anywhere near the power of that. The Honda 750 was on the track and wasn't doing it, but the Quacker 900 hit, and it created a culture. Through the movie, it was the fastest bike on the road, and after the movie, we came out of the movie, out of the picture theatre after watching Stone and went, we've got to have one of those. It was the bike to have.
I need one of those in my life.
Yeah, we need one of those in my life, that's right. And to see the company recognise that and the culture and redevelop it 40 years later with the model we've got up the end there being the 2022 model of the same bike. It's an icon to be recreated. And look, all the fun we had on them. We went to the 6 hours, we went to the Bathurst Easter bike riots. They were races on the track. No one watched the bike racing. There was more fun in the car park. It was just like madness on a stick.
Now we're here with Doug and Gaz from they're members of the Victorian Z Owners Club. Now, would you guys like to just tell us a bit about your bikes and what ticks for you? What ticks all the boxes?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I'll start on. Back in the 60s, I always had motorcycles. Over the years, I went up to 350. Also rode dirt bikes down Anglesey, road and dirt I rode. And I used to get all the bike magazines, Australian Motorcycle News, Cycle, American. And then all of a sudden, I seized this thing. They called it the New York Steak. Yes. And it was the Z1 900 Kawasaki, and I just fell in love with it. This was in August, September 1972. Yeah, right. So early 73, I bought one. I just had to have one. $1,800, brand new. Oh, I used to ride it to work every day. It was my ride. The wife had the car. Daily ride, eight years in a row to Bathurst, the Easter bike races, and I rode that bike every day. Sundays down the Great Ocean Road, looking for someone to race, mate. They were the good old days, I tell you.
Well, the old days, like you say, we just get on our bikes, pack it up, go up to a paddock, park. There'd be, the winter rally or the Bathurst, buddy rallies or the Dubbo, the rally. I remember coming home from the Dubbo rally, and we riding back through Dubbo, and we all stopped at the line safari and had an argument with the bloke about going through the line park on the bikes, and he wasn't going to let us. And we were standing there having an argument about, going through the line safari on the motorbikes. It's just the culture of fun and stuff that happens when you're out on the road.
Guys, after all the years, how many years have you been riding?
I'm celebrating 50 years of motorcycling this year, and I've loved every damn minute of it.
Every kilometre.
Just speaking of lawnmower motors, I've actually got a bike at the moment, which is a push bike, and it's got a lawnmower motor mounted on top of the back wheel, and no one's game to ride it because you cannot keep the front wheel on the ground. I actually took it.
willing to drive it.
I actually took it to a swap meet with Dougie recently, and people were looking at it, very interested, but no one wanted to buy it.
What the hell is this?
once I got over 30 bikes, I thought either I got to build another garage that I only fill up with more rubbish, or start selling them. So I started selling them. I've still got about 14 or 15. Worked hire buses, couple of Quack 9s, Blackbird, my DR650. Also started restoring one of my old Speedway sidecars. Okay. And I bought another one a couple of weeks ago.
I just want to ask you one more question. In all the time that you've been riding, what was the worst thing that happened to you? Because I've come off my bike 6 times, and believe it or not, I only got 148 stitches out of it. But I'm still breathing. What about you guys individually? What's the worst thing that happened to you while you were riding?
I only had one accident on me 9, and that was on the Great Ocean Road. Going too fast around the corner, I sided it, and it's back in the days when there was no arm car on the edge of a cliff. The bike slid across the road. The back wheel hit a white post and span it around. Put a dirty big dent in me rim, me rear rim, but it didn't. It stopped it going over the cliff, and it didn't puncture the tyre, so I could ride slowly home.
So you survived though, that's the important.
Oh yeah.
Your story?
Yes, well, my worst one was at Avalon Speedway. I was racing a sidecar outfit, and the bike in front of me blew its motor. So I've gone straight into the back of it, over it, and the bike has come down on my ankle. I got rushed to Geelong Hospital. They were going to amputate, but luckily the best orthopaedic surgeon was on call.
Mr. Kitchener.
I can't remember. He only had about 8 or 6 fingers or something. And I can still walk. I can't run or anything like that, but I've still got my foot.
6 fingers. For the bloke you mean.
Well, I've had a couple of accidents. I've had one argument with a car where I come off worst off. But I think the worst thing I've ever had when it's come to riding was in Queensland. I was on my way back home to Victoria. I walked outside from the pub and my bike wasn't there. And I still to this day miss that bike. And yeah, so, you know, you can, no, never got the bike back, never recovered. So anyway, who knows? It's probably pushing an outboard somewhere, tinny.
What was it?
It was an 81 Quacker, a Z.
A Z
And
900?
it was a 750.
Right.
But it was very clean. It was ready for a trade-in to get myself a 9 or a 1,000. But yeah. So anyway, I've still at home. I've got a Z 750 still.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're good little runabouts. But one day I'll talk to these blokes about buying one of their bikes off them. Who knows? I haven't sweet talked them enough yet.
I come out of a service station in Yass one night with 3 or 4 mates on bikes, and as we pulled out of the service station in the dark, I realised I hadn't done my helmet up. So I bumped the bike in neutral and stopped and did my helmet up and rode out onto the road, and that put me 200 yards behind me mates. So I'm gunning it, going really hard to catch up to them, and as I crested the hill, 2 semi-trailers appeared on both sides of the road, 4 headlights, and I had the split second to make the decision left, right or the centre, and I took the centre and went between 2 semi-trailers at 170 kilometres an hour on a GSX 1100, yeah, and they were doing 100 the opposite way, and in a flash like that I went between the 2 trucks. That's probably, yeah, well, that and the when I dropped the TZ Yamaha at 200 kilometres an hour at the top end of Oran Park, where the little kinkies in the corner in the rain one afternoon, she just went down like that, and I was 175 metres. We measured it.
Yeah, well, the most fun stack I've ever had. Pee-wee 50 at 15 years old, going flat shack, and I just stood up. Went arse over tit. Yep. I just stood up. I went arse over tit. Nice gravel rash. But that's about it. It was lots of fun.
But yeah, hey, that's a good message for everyone who rides in the current conditions. Wear protective clothing. Good boots, good leathers, and keep yourself safe. Ride it to enjoy it, and enjoy your lives.
Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting some legends who have been riding amazing bikes. And, you know, the 900s, I just... one day maybe I'll get one. But, guys, it's been a real pleasure. I can hardly wait to the Hooks weekend because, you know, I'll probably end up in a field again, unconscious somewhere. But at least I had a good time. Thanks a lot for being here, boys. It's been a real pleasure. Well, I'm amazed. Not only have you got a brand new pair of boots that look amazing, how do they feel?
These boots have lasted 12 months. and they're an original pair of Cougar boots. Zip.
Concrete on them?
That's concrete. There's PVC glue. There's
It goes through
mud.
concrete.
You name it. These boots have been through it. Now, I started my career in 1985, so it's 37 years of
Concrete, isn't it?
of wearing boots, and we've had to change nowadays to the zip side because obviously commercial sites and that for O.H and S. So I've been wearing these for 12 months, and these, I tell you what, these boots are they're comfortable, they're durable.
They weigh a ton. There's still concrete on there.
Only because there's concrete. Normally, they are actually a light boot to wear around. They're really comfortable, and what can I say? So today, the boys gave me a nice new pair of boots, which will be another 12 months. Now, as I was saying, 37 years landscaping, I worked out 110 pair of boots that I've bought in my career. And they're always the old slide-on boots, right? But these ones with a zipper they go. And they're allowed on all the commercial sites, and they're awesome. O.H&S, you might break your ankle, they can just zip and pull them off.
And they look comfortable, and just for the fact that you can slide them off, as you said, instead of going through every single lace, all you got to do is zip, click.
off the old boots, where you used to have to...
You have to sit there for 4 minutes or something to get them both off.
You will just go like that.
Look at that. So are these available everywhere?
They are indeed. Look for the name Cougar, and you will be mildly impressed how, compared to other brands, how actually light and comfortable these boots are. On a job site, 8-10 hours a day, you're wearing these boots.
Yep.
It's got to be comfortable. 12 months old, those old boots are, and they are. I could still wear them, I could still wear them. But these ones are new, and I'll wear them tomorrow for the next 12 months.
And if you don't get them, you're missing out. Why go through 2 pairs of boots when you can go through 1 pair? To be honest with you, mate, I'd wear those boots out.
Yep.
I can go out with them,
Yep.
and it looks dressed.
Yep. You could go dancing in them.
Yeah. Congratulations, mate, on a great product.
And Cougar.
Cougar, check them out. If you haven't checked them out before, go on their website, check it out, because maybe you'll do your feet a favour.